13 is on your side.
A Michigan artist spent her summer looking back in time at Grand Rapids' deep but long-forgotten connection to a Hollywood giant. 13 on your side's Eric Howard talked with her about her discovery and how she decided to share what she found.
It was at this site off of Alpine Avenue that the same company that would go on to found Paramount Global, the same Paramount Global that gave us SpongeBob and The Godfather, was born. One Michigan-based artist is not only memorializing this site for its history, but using it as a cautionary tale of big business and the environmental impacts that business leaves behind.
I want people to experience remembering in a different way, so they remember more.
Artist and activist Kate Levy.
With the Billboard, it's like, wow, I had no idea that this history existed.
Levy referring to this plot of land, once owned by a bumper stamping and plating company called Gulf and Western, founded right here in Grand Rapids. The owner of the land eventually became Paramount Global through years of mergers and acquisitions.
Billboards are primarily used to advertise. Billboards are not often factual. I wanted to make it mysterious.
A mystery she encountered after searching through the Grand Rapids City archives, where she found a history of economic and environmental struggles with Gulf and Western industries.
As I looked into these individual sites, I realized that nearly every single site suffered contamination from the plating process.
Levy found a history of allegations against Gulf and Western of environmental wrongdoing.
And the land was so contaminated from decades of Gulf and Western's operations that the property was worth nothing. The site has finally been demolished, and the ground is so contaminated that it's going to cost a great deal of money to pull up the foundation.
Levy believes that Gulf and Western Industries closed its manufacturing operations as environmental regulations mounted, choosing then to focus on entertainment industries like their recently acquired Paramount Pictures. According to documents from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, the site here at Alpine and Ann Street was indeed owned by Gulf and Western, but the liability of contamination found on site couldn't be connected to Paramount Global.
Just because Gulf and Western doesn't exist, it doesn't mean that there's no liability, because when Gulf and Western stopped existing, they became Paramount Communications.
Levy believing that this history and the fight for our environment deserves to be remembered as not only a tale of a Hollywood giant, but a warning.
This site mattered, and this site has a history, and we need to understand this history because it's a very real phenomenon to trust companies that say they're working in your best interest. And the more we hold these entities accountable, the more it becomes our norm to do so.
Eric Howard, 13 on your side.